So that's the cold air presenting. Yes, the cold air is presenting. And that's why this fish with a broken back had to be moved to get a broken back. It used to live on this shelf right here in a large, spacious tank. But since this whole wall is compromised, I had to insulate it. And certainly that is where this story begins. The cold air presenting. This here fishy neon tetra is over 2 years old, and I wanted to immortalize it in this video since it lived a very good life in the big tank, and then I was forced to move that big tank so I can move that bookshelf and start insulating that wall in our $1 million townhome, which received a grade of 5 on a air exchange test. For reference, the inhabitable license by the city of Vancouver received through an air exchanges test has to be graded at 3.5. Anything else lower than that does not get an occupancy, and then it has to get fixed. But in Coquitlam, of course, the city of Coquitlam just wants development and nothing but tax dollars, so they don't force the developer to do an air exchanges test, and you end up with a grade 5, which is not inhabitable. There's a lot of work to do still, and through having to insulate the flex room, exterior walls, I had to move the tank, and I bought this tank, the small one, cleaned it, and in the rush I put water in there that was way too hot. Put all the rocks in, all the features, the filter. The heater was plugged in, making it even hotter. And then I asked our daughter to put the fish in slowly and gently into the tank. And she did, not knowing what the temperature of the tank was, and I never tested it. So that is where things went south, and our daughter watched in horror as this fish fully flexed its spine, broke its back, floating upside down, dying, floating on its back, as the shock of the hot water was way too shocking to a small fish getting into a hot bath. She cried and jumped to the rescue, as she's very good with animals of all kind. Got the fish into a bowl with that hot water, slowly introduced colder and colder water. The fish was in cardiac arrest, upside down for an hour, floating upside down with a twisted back, and slowly it came back to itself, right-siding itself, and slowly started moving and coming back. And I took half the water out of this tank, put in cold water, and after about an hour, acclimatizing the fish to the tank water in a little Tupperware, then we moved the fish tetra into this tank here that you're looking at. You can tell it's broken, but it's a sporty fish. It likes to swim. It loves this tank. It's even possible that this fish actually grew in this tank. So everything is good, and this fish will not live forever. And this video is for that purpose, to immortalize and to let you know, before you buy any kind of building, or in any kind of building, get yourself an air exchanges test, especially on a new build or a pre-built. Just because a developer has a fancy name, it means nothing about the builder that they hire and how that builder conducts itself with vapor barrier and insulation. They will say that they acted upon the code. For one, the code is wrong in many respects, and just because they say they did it to the code, it does not mean that they actually applied the vapor barrier correctly, and same with the insulation. So to close here, we'll give this little tyke some food and let her dance. Okay, so this is the dishwasher. So this is all a part of the exterior wall, close to the hole in the wall. So all that air is making its way across the whole back of the kitchen, not the exterior wall.
It's covered by the cabinets here, but you can see it kind of coming out the bottom.
Yeah.
And then this comes out the corner.
And that's the hole.
It's a bit hard to tell because of the wind, but you see some